Joining me in the studio is Idris Yaya Abubakar, and he is the head gas and monetary regulations. You're welcome to Weekend Fire.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's talk about renewable energy and gas, usage of gas in Nigeria. They say it's the bridging fuel that will help developing countries transition to renewable energy. Let's have your take on that.
Thank you again for having me. Harnessing gas resources has opened a potential for the next phase of energy transition. Historically, if you look at the country, what had been happening before was we produce and we flare. But we also know that crude oil and coal are not environmentally friendly. They have their own, environmental, hazards. But when you look at gas is not renewable, just like coal and crude oil, but environmentally it has advantages over that of coal and crude oil. And of course, what are those advantages? The advantages are you can use it, it's environmentally friendly, is also a feedstock for like petrochemicals. It is abundant in supply, and you are sure of continuing to use it for as long as you have it. And of course, Nigeria is a very rich, country.
It's a gas nation.
Yes, it's endowed gas nation. We have proven gas, reserve of 206 TCF.
So, what are the identified ways of meeting Nigeria's energy demands, at minimal cost and low carbon emission? Because at COP26, it stopped discussion on how to stop flaring of gas emission. Nigeria is saying to 2050, some are saying 2070. So how can we have gas at a minimal cost for Nigerians?
Now we have to look at it broadly. And what I mean by that is that, so now we have a country that is endowed with a lot of natural gas resources, but have we been able to harness it? That is the issue. And if we're able to harness that, then we should be able to manage the transition to the renewable energy or non-renewable energy. But for a country that has a lot of gas, I think we should not focus so much on renewable energy, because the gas that we have is as good for us to use as the renewable energy sources.
As a connection to power supply in the country, where are we?
We are on top of it. The AKK, like I think your colleague just mentioned, is very much on track. And of course, we are putting a lot of enablers in place so that the power sector, the industries, the whatever you will be able to make use of that, and the economy will kickstart very soon. Let's
look at the issue on the hike in price of petroleum, liquefied petroleum gas. It's quite expensive. The hike is just skyrocketing every day. What is the way out?
Well, we have to look at it globally, and we also look at it at our level. I mean, at the national level. The price of gas has increased globally. Why? Because the price of crude oil has also gone high. We all know that a barrel of oil is going for about $70-something per barrel. So we know that from the crude oil you can get your gas like the LPG. So if the oil costs so much, then you expect the gas that is as a derivative coming out of crude oil to also go up. There is also the energy demand. There is high energy demand in Europe right now. There is also the disruption of supply, because we know Russia is a major supplier of gas in Europe. So there are disruptions in Europe because of the supply that we're having, the supply challenges from Russia. That is one. Then of course we have to look at the foreign exchange. How much of the dollar are we exchanging in terms of naira to buy the gas that we buy from outside? Then of course you need to come back again in terms of the supply chain, which is weak. What am I talking about? We are looking at when you are to do the haulage from Lagos or from Calabar, and you are bringing it up to Abuja. How much is a liter of diesel? I think a liter of diesel right now is about 345 naira. So by the time you put all this together, you will begin to see that yes, the price is up, but I think we're on top of it. We're going to do something.
In 30 seconds before you go, why are Nigerians not aware of just what you just told me? so that they can, you know, condition themselves to the situation in 30 seconds.
I want to believe Nigeria are the most enlightened, you know, people that we have, and I think they are also aware. It's not like we are not aware of what I just said. The demand in, you know, supply in Europe is high. The price of crude oil is also high. Then, of course, we all know, like the diesel, which is one of the major sources of what we use in transportation, you know, is deregulated, and the price of the diesel is like, just I said, 345 naira.
Idris Abubakar, Head Gas and Monetary Regulations, thank you so much for coming on Weekend File.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Now let's take a break. When we return, more stories coming your way. Don't go away.